Taking lead, or am I taking lead?
I'll take the lead off. You're here more consistently. I'm just here as support.
Consistently is a word. And live stream.
Okay, but we don't hear them.
No. So, like, are you judging, or what are you doing this thing?
Yeah, I'm judging today.
Okay, yeah, you'll be in the judges booth then. And they should be able to, if you're not in the game, they should be able to stream it to you. That way you can communicate with them.
Man is bouncing off of limiter and just missing the zones.
You'll have that on them bigger jobs.
Yeah, on the big wing RX-7s.
Oh, there we go. We are live now.
Oh my.
Took a little bit, but we're here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Esports Drift Association. We are here with our Summer Open event. Getting ready for some qualifying here. Drivers are currently on track, getting a couple of practice laps in before we start the first session. See what these guys are getting ready to put down. My name is Strepidemic. Joining me in the booth today, we've got Mr. Faust. And Faust, how are we feeling about this today?
I think we are in for a real fun time. A lot of these guys have been throwing down some heaters of runs, and through qualifying and into battles, I think it's going to be a really fast course with a lot of people making a lot of little mistakes. That will be the difference between glory and going home.
I think we're going to need a wall counter today. Just looking at how this track is laid out, we've got a wall, and we've got drivers who are going to hit that wall. I think it's time for the wall counter to return. It will not be as bad as Jinxu was, but that's okay. That's probably better, actually, now that I think about that out loud.
No, I don't think we should do a wall counter this time. I haven't really seen anybody outside of the Mustangs hitting the wall. I think a missed zone counter will be more fun.
Yeah, I think a missed zone counter might be a good idea too, actually. Oh, that's somebody misses an inner clip right there.
The amount of people that are missing this whole first outside zone, they hit the inside clip and then just don't hit that outside zone right after it.
This is a little bit of a tough track to drive, I will say. For as simple as the layout that it looks, with these cars in particular, it is a little bit tough. Definitely a interesting flow to it with the ESDA Pro cars, but as we watch all these drivers going through the qualifying practice here, we can see that it is doable. And it looks like we're watching a pretty decent run rate here, actually.
Well,
not bad.
It's an 80.
What's going on, everybody who's watching along? You see Excel is in there hanging out. Blaze up with a raid party at 10. We appreciate that. And Farinelli, love you too, brother. Sucks that you're not up here in the booth this time, but that's because you're going to be down on track. So good luck to you today.
The real question is, will Farinelli make the cutoff?
I sure hope so.
If he doesn't, we are going to have to get on him in the booth next time he is here.
If Farinelli doesn't qualify today, it's going to be his doom and demise.
Yeah, Farinelli, if you don't qualify today, you will never hear the end of it. Time to get to ore farming on him.
I think we're getting drivers ready soon here to start our qualifying order, or is this a qualifying run?
I think this is our first qualifying run. They did call Raul to the line. He is doing pretty decent.
Yeah, Raul was doing very good in practice, and he's showing that here. A little bit of a tire on that curve, but that's not too bad. Ooh, and a very interesting little angle correction there going to that last zone.
Little dink on the wall.
Though. Not horrible.
First run, and the wall counter climbs. He hit that wall on that first one.
Oh, we got a mystery driver up here now.
What are we doing?
I'm not sure who it is. Oh, there we go. They went back to the pits.
Yep. I don't think they're paying attention.
No, I think they missed the part where they said that it's qualified. Oh, as somebody else is. Oh, and he's in the sand pit. Guys, what are we doing today?
Come on.
When
How
this
are you
name pops
going
up
to...
on screen, you're doomed.
It's...
And he's gone.
Hold on, I got you.
What is going on today?
Sideways Society. He went out there and completely just missed.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good thing that wasn't the run, because this one is looking a lot better so far. He does come a little bit shallow off of that inside clip there. Now coming into the last zone. Looks like keeping it off of the wall. So if that is going to be the run, that is a lot better than what was done before.
See, that was Matt that was doing that run, and it's supposed to be Raul. So I'm trying to figure out what they are... why they haven't figured this out yet. They said in chat.
There might be some confusion.
They have voiced in chat that practice is over. I think they're just trying to get some of that cheater's edge.
So now I believe it should be Raul back to the line here.
Yep, finally getting Raul back to the line for his second run. A little bit timid on the initiation, far off of that inside clip, but manages to fill the outside zone 1 and 2, and barely into 3. A little far off of that inside clip number 2, pushing all the way out to outer zone 4, going into 5, just barely on the line, and the wall counter increases again. 2 runs, 2 wall taps.
Yeah, you know, that run was looking a little rough there, and now it looks like he's coming up for a third run, so maybe that was actually the first.
It looks like Matt is running again for some reason.
Oh, boy. 71.3 for Raul, so that was run 1. So that first run that we saw earlier did not count. This is going to be run 2 right here. See what he's able to do. Hopefully better that score a little bit as he initiates in there. Grabs that inside clip very nicely done there. A little bit of an angle bobble to make that second zone work, but sets himself up nicely for the third and for the fourth right on the track edge. Just where you need to be. Now gets all the way into that inside clip. Bringing it around town here to the next outside zone. Does drop that tire up on the rumble strip. Oh, and shuts down and has to reinitiate there going into the last zone. Judges are not going to be happy about that one.
He went straight a couple times during that run, and this is the one time that you don't want to be straight. Is Matt's back at the line again? Going... No, I don't think that is...
I think he's just putting on a show, as Raul does drop in a 60.5 for his second score.
Are they back to practice? It is confusing.
Don't know.
I think the judge just left.
Well, folks, I gotta be honest, we're a little confused up here in the booth as to what's happening on track. This gentleman here in this BMW is just continuously coming back, doing runs, and we don't know what's...
And about as confusing as an Alabama family tree.
All right. We're back on the air. You can't be saying things like that, pal. This is now Raul. This is Raul, I think, in the Supra. At least I thought that wasn't Raul because Raul was just in a Corolla. So maybe we've got a second Raul Pagato. Ah, no, here we go. We just got overlays on screen. We're having a very confusing day here, folks. Don't mind us.
It's been a hectic time.
Morning.
Very eventful, to say the least. We've got 2 runs in the books, 2 taps on the wall counter already.
Tell you what, watching some of these cars that are on the track right now practicing, there are some very interesting car selections here, like this BMW. We've got somebody wielding the 599 today, which is a very interesting car to see, especially on this physics.
Very unruly car to drive.
Very much so. Yeah, that car is it's fun. I will give it credit. It's fun to drive, but it is very, very hard, I feel like, to be competitive in one of those. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to be able to do in it as we get ready to watch one of his practice runs here. Driving for Mach and... Oh, well, I guess we're just not going to get to see it. That's cool. But he'll be driving for Mach Infinity Racing. See what him and his boys are able to put down later today. What do you think about the track?
I think that this track is going to be genuinely amusing when it comes time for battles. How many people we're going to see getting put into the wall by their chase driver in that last outside zone needs to be studied. A lot of these guys are coming into that last outside zone with a lot of speed, and if you are running in the chase trying to cut some line just to keep up, it can get treacherous and very disastrous real quick. So I want to know, how many people do you think, Stripe, are going to get put into the wall by their chase drivers today?
It's going to be a lot. And if it's not getting put into the wall, I think exactly what we're going to see is what we actually just saw that 180s practice run have happen. That sand trap will grab your car and throw you to the wolves. It is a very, very loose part of the track there. You go a tire off, you're likely going the entire car off in that section. So
even the
grass are going to be the 2 big ones.
Even that grass is treacherous. It will suck you in and toss you into the sand trap.
Well, we've already got a battle practice run going. I think these guys might be losing the plot a little bit.
No. They're just preparing so that they know what to expect when somebody goes to put them into the wall or into the grass trap.
Looks like we are getting ready to go here for qualifying run number 1 for the first driver of this group.
And it looks like, yes, sir. in that big body Mustang. Let's see if he can make it through the course without losing the car. Checkers or wreckers, boys, as he throws in kind of timidly into that first one, pulls a lot of angle out just to make it into outside zone 1, filling all of outside zone 2, just barely missing the grass on outside zone 3. A little far off of that inside clip, getting a little dangerous, flirting with that sand trap in outside zone 4 as he goes into 5 and just tries to push it out onto the wall. Making it around clean for an 86.2.
Not a horrible run whatsoever there. Although the score on the board is still showing a 0. There's the 86.2. As Punyapak gets ready to go for run number 2 here. See if he's able to improve that score or if the 86.2 is going to stand. Flicks it in. Very good initiation there, but comes up a little bit shallow, I think, on that inside clip. Gets out to that outside zone and does the same one outside zone number 2. Now outside zone number 4 all the way out to the track edge. Swinging it around the long sweeper. Comes up a little bit shallow on that inside clip. Bringing it out to that next outside zone. Looks like some good placement from that camera angle. We'll have to see it back then. And bringing it through the last outside zone a little. Oh, it hits the wall at the end. That's not good. I don't know if that's going to be a completed run or not. That looks like that wall straightened him before the finish line. We'll have to see what the judges are thinking on that one. But wow, not the way that that run was supposed to end.
I did not expect the wall counter to be claiming this many victims this early on in the runs.
What did I say? Wall counter's coming back, baby.
And it's coming back with a vengeance as we get B. Roberts coming through in that 180SX. Light flick very far off of that inside clip and just shimmying the car a lot to try and get it to angle. Oh, and the sand trap claims another victim.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that when we sit there and we watch these drivers practice, it becomes very easy to kind of note what's going to happen here. And I think this is a perfect example of that. The sand trap taking victims already. The wall counter, I think we're up to like 5 on that right now. It's going to be a day. But here we go. We'll see what he's able to do on the second run as he flicks it into initiation. Still very, very shallow from that inside clip. Gets that outside zone decently. And then, major straighten, and he's going to do it again.
Yep.
All right. That'll be a double incomplete in the books on that one, unfortunately. Have to re-rack it for Brandon Roberts and try again at the next Open, I think.
The real question is, will Blake March be able to make it through? You can see his suspension travel. He's got real soft suspension in the front. Will that help him as he goes through the chicane, coming into it nice and hot, roasting the tires off the rip and throwing it in heavy? Hits that inside clip, barely midline in that first outside zone, filling all of that second and third outside zone as he comes in. A little bit over the line on that inside clip and really trying to stretch it out, throwing a whole bunch of angle at it in outside zone 4 as he comes into 5. Just barely able to hold it in the zone and outside zone 5.
Yeah, it's a very interesting choice of car for Blake March. Honestly, in my opinion, just from driving these cars, as he does put down a 6.7 for his first run, these cars are very tricky to drive and to keep kind of on your ideal line. So I'm very interested to see what he's going to put down here as he initiates in for run number 2 and punches that inside clip out of his way. Barely gets into that first outside zone. About midway on the second, midway on the third. Bring it into the next inside clip here. Gets that one pretty decently. Now bringing it out to outside zone number 4 here. That looked all right. Not too bad. Into the last outside zone with the wall right. All he's got to do is keep it off of the wall and send it home. And that is exactly what he's going to do. So we'll see what the judges put in for a score here. Currently sitting on a 67. Let's see what he's able to put down for that second score.
And to add on to what you said, these cars are incredibly difficult to keep online, especially when you are throwing as much angle at it as Blake was.
It is a 76.3 there for Blake March on run number 2. That's going to be the high score, and that'll be the one that stands.
As we have Henri Kopaleski at the line, throwing it in heavy. Little bit off of that first inside clip and barely in that first outside zone, filling all of outside zone 2 and 3 as he comes almost over the line for that inside clip 2. Has to really stand on it and stretch it out to get it out to outside zone 4, and then rides the wall all the way through outside zone 5.
Not the worst. That little situation coming out of the first corner was a little interesting. It is an 84.1, so it didn't hurt him too bad, but I bet that was probably the spot that lost him some points. I have to see if he's able to correct that little bobble, I guess you would call it, going into the next run here. Already taking his sweet time getting back to the line here. I think this might have been the longest amount of time we've had between two runs of a driver. As Henri flicks it into initiation, picks up that inside clip very nicely, and there it is. Corrects that mistake from the first run very nicely. Getting out to these outside zones, pushing it all the way to the track edge on that one there. Now picks up that inside clip, bringing it out the outside zone at number 4 here. Very nice placement on the car here. Now needs to get a little bit deeper without touching that wall to pick up all the points here, and it looks like across the line, clean and clear run.
I think Henri the Grey Goblin managed to come back around and get a better score than his first run.
I'm hoping so. The big issue from run number 1 looks like was corrected here, but I will say going into one of the outside zones, he was a little bit shallow, could have been a little bit deeper. But honestly, not too much to pick apart from that run. So it is an 84.8. So yeah, just barely bettering that score.
We have Yopi who was at the line, but I don't think he registered. I don't think he stood on the line for long enough to stage. So I'm not entirely sure if the judges will be counting this run from him. Which would be a shame because that was a pretty decent layout of the heater of a run. He just didn't wait for the judges to be ready.
Yeah, I think Vasily is one of the drivers that are a little bit too excited about this event.
Well, as he jumps the light again.
For those of you who may be watching along confused, just to understand kind of what we're talking about here, the qualifying sessions of ESDA are automated. We use a AI-based judging system that calculates everything that the cars are doing in their run. So when a driver pulls up to the line, they have to get into a staging area, they have to give the staging time to register, and then the driver will be on their way once it is a registered run. Points start at 100, and they whittle down from there. We will bring you a little bit more during our first commercial break later today here, once you kind of get an idea for the system that we're using.
And Wally has been watching all of these drivers through both practice and through qualifying, so he has a pretty good idea of what to expect from the drivers and what the driver and a good viewpoint on what the drivers are doing. As it looks like Henri is, or no, Yopi is still waiting. What is Vasily doing?
I think we've got a little bit of confusion going on.
He is waiting in the pits. Does not appear to know what is happening. as it looks like we are sending the start line marshal down to his car to call him mean names.
All right, guys, just bear with us a little bit here. Trying to get this all sorted out. One of the drivers appears to be having a little bit of an issue with the start procedure. So we're gonna try it again here. See what we can get done.
We've gotten 2 false starts out of him, and he is on his last strike before he gets a 0. Let's see if he can figure it out this time. Oh.
I don't think it's happening.
I don't think it likes him very much. I don't think I think he's got beef with Wally or something like that.
I think he's just not properly in the staging lane. I'm pretty sure the way this track has it set up, you have to have your bumper like on where it says lead for it to register.
I mean, it was showing that he was registering as staged, but it was not feeding him.
Well, it looks like he's underway here. Not sure if this is a score to run or not, so we'll have to see what happens, but putting it down pretty good in these zones so far.
It is not a scored run. Judges have stated that they are going to swing back around to Vasily. He's just getting an extra practice lap as we got Luca coming to the line. So it works for Luca as he comes through in that Mark IV Supra. Little bit of a hesitant initiation, but works his way out all the way into that first outside zone in the second and third. Very low angle from the looks of it through these zones, but he is pushing to that inside clip and all the way out to that outside zone. Swinging back around on the wall. Very edge of the zone. Looked like he was trying to hang that wing over the wall, but couldn't quite get it deep enough.
Yeah, the Mark IV is a very fun chassis to drive with the ESDA Pro cars. I will say that I've had quite some very interesting times with this machine. So it's very nice to see somebody driving it here in the open event. Very good car. Glad people are giving it a chance. As Luca gets ready to throw down for run number 2 here. Flicks it into initiation. Very nicely done there. Picks up all that inside clip. Now pushing it out to the rumble strip there on the first outside zone. Could have been a little bit deeper on outside zone number 2 and on outside zone number 3. Now inside clip number 2, not too bad there, but starts coming towards the edge of the track a little early. Does set himself up nicely for outside zone number 4. Now going into 5, the wall claims another victim. Oh no, Luca.
Add up another one for the wall counter.
Add up another one. The 82 will stand. The second run will be a 0 for Luca.
As we have the BMW Super driver coming to the line, Georgie, staged up, ready to go. Launching off through that start chicane, real nice. I love the blue on that car and the flick that he had in there. Really extending it out, running a midline through outside zone 1, filling all of 2 and 3. Dialing in a bunch of angle just to hit that inside clip number 2 and really fill out the course edge for outside zone number 4 and pushing out to the wall. If he had a wing, it would be on the wall for that outside zone 5.
Yeah, pretty good run there, I will say. Definitely a couple of slight issues at the start of the run, but overall not too bad. It is going to be an 87, so I believe that's actually the highest score so far today right there. Yes,
Yes, it is.
It is. It was a exactly 86.67, which best to be 86.2 of Punyapat as we go into run number 2 here. Oh, a little bit of a rough start to the run there. Gonna have to try to clean that up. Does pick up that outside zone very nicely on the course edge. Missing a little bit of that inside clip. Now bringing it out to outside zone number 4. Not too bad there. Just got to keep it out of the wall here and bring her home. Sitting on that 87, all you want to do is improve, improve, improve. I don't think they're going to on this run, just based on what I saw there, but let's see what the judging system has to say.
And that was a bit of a sloppy run on both of those inside clips. As we have Artem at the line.
He's 76, so it does not improve.
Artem in that big body Mustang, and it is always fun to see a Mustang, even though he is following the stereotype and taking out those cones, missing that first outside clip or outside zone, and really dropping a tire on that inside clip number 2. He is barely in these zones as the wall counter claims another one. I think he saw more than 3 people on the wall and got excited.
Yeah, he saw the crowd that was hanging out over on the other side of it and just kind of made his way.
Punted the cone at the start and took out the crowd after it.
Here we go, underway for run number 2. He was able to do in that Mustang, try to clean it up a little bit as he punts that inside clip. Get it out of here. Midway through on that first outside zone. Same deal on outside zone number 2. Could have stayed a little bit longer in 3, but does drop a tire over that line, which causes him to miss the next inside clip. Now bringing it out to the last run here. You can tell that he is afraid of the wall now. Keeps it off there to ensure that he gets the score. See what that score is going to be.
I don't think that that's going to be good enough to keep us in, or to keep him in the show.
No, 55.3. That is a very, very low score here compared to what we're seeing. So we'll have to see what happens.
As we have JP Saryavi up next. Big flick in that GR86. No, that's a BMW.
Yeah,
Ugly face BMW.
Back to the we're back to what's his name? Vasily. We're back to Vasily here.
No. We've got
outside zone.
We've got JP Saryavi going through in the ugly face BMW.
Oh, there's 2. I thought only one of these guys registered to one of these cars.
Nope. We've got a couple. He has an 87.7.
Good lord. Everything's getting so confusing. Here we go. JP going out for run number 2. Look that aggressive looking BMW in. Very nicely done on that first inside clip. Now out to outside zone number 1, putting it all the way out to the rumble strip. Track edge on 2, track edge on 3, not bad at all there. Bringing it into the next inside clip. Comes up a little bit short, but making it work. As flicking it through. Looks like a little bit of a tire drop there through outside zone number 4. And whoa! Takes another bumper. Oh my goodness.
That sand trap really got him. He got them little particulates on the wheel, and it just sent him into the wall. He managed to get out of it, but he almost got devoured alive, and the wall counter claims another victim. As we have Noman Imran coming through the start chicane. A lot of these guys are doing the flick initiation as he comes a little far off of that inside clip and misses most of outside zone 1, filling outside zone 2 and missing 3 just by a hair. Hitting that inside clip number 2 and comes out of outer zone 4 a little early and is right in a mid-line for that last outside zone, almost coming unwound, trying just to hold it together.
Gonna have to do a little bit better in the second run here. 74.5. That is considerably low for what we're looking at right now with the other drivers.
He's driving that Mach Infinity Nissan and needs to send it at Mach Jesus.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He flicked it in here and grabs that inside clip. Now about midway on the first outside zone there. Midway with a very low angle to that one, and even more shallow here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think this is even gonna be a better score, as he almost misses that entire zone there. Though, and he does miss the entire first half of the last outside zone across the line. So yeah, that's gonna be a very rough score on the board. As his teammate comes up to the line here.
A lot of bobbles in that lead
It's
run.
incomplete. It is a 0 on the board.
He did straighten out quite a lot as we finally get to see the big body Ferrari coming up to the line. Big flick initiation into it as he has a bobble trying to not over-rotate that car. Drops a little bit of tire in the grass, straightens out, and missed his outside zone 3 entirely. Barely hits that inside clip 2 and has to really stand on the brakes just to get it out to outside zone 4 as he's really shallow through all of outside zone 5, trying not to add to that wall counter.
I'm not sure if that's going to be considered a scored run. Because they were still working out a second score there for Noman. Which, just to update, Noman's second score did come in at a 70.57. It just took a while there. Yeah, and Muhammad's first run is currently sitting at a 40.73, so hopefully do some better on this one here. Bringing it around to the third outside zone, and oh yeah, completely off track, so unfortunately that's going to be an incomplete there for Muhammad, sitting on a 40.7. Definitely not looking good for making it into the show later here. But that's going to round up our first group of qualifying. It's been an interesting one so far.
I think we're supposed to be sending Vasily. No. Maybe?
Maybe.
The judge said we're sending Vasily, and then he left.
Well, the confusion continues.
The plot thickens.
This is definitely getting more interesting by the minute here, so we're looking for Vasily to get to the line. Now, typical practice within this situation is that drivers usually get about 2 minutes to get to the line, and if you don't get there, you're forfeiting. So we'll see if the judges call that ruling.
I mean, we did have the judge call for Vasily and then just vanish. So maybe he's waiting for the judge to come back?
Yeah, we'll have to see for sure.
Has anybody stated what's going on?
No, we are unsure as of right now, so fellas in the chat, just got to bear with us a little bit here, trying to figure out what's going on. Not entirely sure if we are waiting to send Vasily, if he is not going. We are not sure.
Maybe Vasily went to go get ice cream from the concession stand and just hasn't made it back to his car yet as he pulls off.
Here he goes.
Yep, he went to the concession stand real quick, had to come back. But it looks like we are getting him up to the line. As it's looking like Wally just doesn't like Vasily.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on with this. Maybe an issue on his end or something along those lines.
Oh, He has left the building.
Okay.
Maybe he is taking his comp time out to restart his game. But so far, we have had a very eventful run. Whether it is Vasily, yep, there goes Vasily again. Looks like he is coming back around to the line very shortly, getting his tune situated. But between Vasily and Wally having a standing disagreement, the wall counter taking many lives and claiming many victims, and that sand trap being treacherous, we have been dealing with nothing but an eventful start to this event.
Here we go. Vasily is finally making his way to the line here, hopefully to actually get a run underway this time. So he makes his way through that staging box. Let's see if it's going to work. Maybe yes, maybe no. He's still sitting there, so I'm assuming it's a no.
Wally is really having beef with Vasily, just not wanting to let him get a judged run in.
I cannot wait for the comments of, "This is why you need to use human judges."
We do use human judges. Just not for qualifying.
No, not for qualifying. I am seeing in the chat here that apparently he is on a VPN of some sort that is causing issues with the system.
That might just be the issue. But I have not really had much experience with dealing with a VPN on Assetto Corsa.
Yeah, here we go. Looks like the official word is that Vasily is going to be getting moved to the last chance qualifier group. They're going to try to get him set up with a new VPN, something that might work a little bit better. And hopefully he'll be able to go out and do his qualifying run. But that should wrap up this group of qualifying here. So we're going to cut to a commercial break, get the next group of drivers loaded in, and then we'll be back with you guys with more action.
I thought we saw Punyapot already drive, though.
We did, hence the confusion. As right now, looks like we are back. So drivers are getting practice underway. Trying to figure out if we're in group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Might be in group 7 right now. Not really sure to that.
All I know is that we are in a good old time either way.
Cars are running. Drivers are excited to be here. It's another ESDA event. Everybody's just happy to be running. Oh, and we do have another Ferrari in the mix. Awesome.
We might get a couple of them today. The real question will be, are they able to, or are we going to be able to get any of them into competition today?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. As we wait on our first driver of this group to come to the line. I believe it should be Olav, because it was supposed to be originally slated to be Matthias Skredzvig coming to the line, but he unfortunately cannot make it. So it's going to be Olav in the A80 Supra coming up to the line to kick us off for the next group.
Or is it Jan? Nope, it is Jan.
Oh, and Olav isn't here either.
So we have Jan in that big body chaser, just swinging that boat in. Very far off that inside clip, but filling all of outside zone 1 and 2. Just swinging it through outside zone 3, trying to suck it in to that last inside clip, filling all of outside zone 4, as he puts that big body boat on the wall for outside zone 5. Just barely avoids being another victim of the wall counter.
Just barely will be good enough to keep you in the running. Hopefully the score will reflect a decent run. It's a 62.9, so not the lowest that we've seen so far, as Jan gets ready for run number 2 here. Flicks it into initiation. Big, strong flick. Not setting himself up perfectly for that first inside clip, but grabs that outside zone number 1. Great. Outer 2, not bad. Way exceeds outside zone number 3, and that's going to set him up for failure coming towards this inside clip. Does manage to correct and get back on the line. Bringing out the outside zone number 4, filling all of that. Now transitioning through for the last time to the wall ride. Just has to keep it off of that wall, and he is across the line with a, I think, completed run. I don't think he went 3 tires off anywhere.
But the question is, will his score be able to beat that 67?
It's a 72. Not bad.
72.
62.9 falls.
And he was just swinging that thing. It looked like he was calling himself captain with how he was swinging that boat around.
Here we go. It's gonna be Mr. Aston. Big dirty burnouts.
And that big wing RX-7. Will he be bouncing off limiter the whole run? Probably. But it's going to sound good doing it. As he swings it in, drops the tire and completely misses. Oh, no. Just shuts it down instantly. Misses that whole first outside zone, or that inside clip, and then has to shut it down so he doesn't wreck it in the sand trap.
All right, Aston, just for your racket, we'll try it again on run number 2 here, see what you're able to put down. Hopefully you can correct that issue and not drop that tire. Initiates in, tire stays on track, but still misses that inside clip and has to bobble out of angle heavily there. Just having a messy run. Big handbrake pull there. Now Brandon into that next inside clip, did have a tire over the line. This is not going to be a great score on the board, if the system even scores it at all, to be honest. Up and a little bit of a wall tap, but does keep it in drift, so that's always good.
If he manages to get a score with all of those missed zones, that will be genuinely amazing.
And he's already packed it in the trailer and gone home. So we'll see what kind of a score slots in. It is a 68.2, so he does get a score on the board. A surprisingly high score, I must say.
As we have Ernestas coming through, really missing that inside clip, barely touching outside zone 1 and 2. Not really filling the first 2, but filling the third outside zone. Little far off of that inside clip number 2, just flirting with disaster in that outside zone 4 as he starts to stick it on the wall, and the wall almost completely takes him out of it. He manages to hold it together, but add another one to the wall counter.
Yeah, see, this is why I said about it at the start of the stream. I knew this wall was going to be a problem for drivers today. We're not even in battles yet as an 82 slides in for Ernest's first run. We're already in double digits on the wall counter, so this is going worse than Jinxu. That's crazy to think about as Ernestus flicks it in here, picks up that inside clip, very nicely done there. Outside zone number 1 could have been a little bit deeper. Looks like same deal on outside zone number 2, but does get out to the course edge, for the next outside zone. Picks up that inside clip pretty nicely, now bringing her around to outside zone number 4, fills all of that. Transitioning through, got to keep it off of the wall this time, and looks like doing just that as Ernestus. And across the line. Pretty good run.
Interesting. That wall has been writing checks that people could not cash as we have Justice come into the line next.
Almost broke the 90s with an 89.5 as Ernestus currently sitting P1.
How many people do you think we're going to have in the 90s club today?
That's a really good question, honestly. The fact that some of these runs didn't break it honestly surprised me. I thought there was a run earlier that that could have been scored a little bit higher. But yeah, you know what? That's what the Wally system's for. It's doing its job. If I had to take a guess, this is a very wild guess. I'm going to say that in the 90s today, we're going to be... We'll go 9 people in the 90s.
9 in the 90s? That is a strong stance to take.
I've got faith. I've got faith in some of these drivers. I've been looking through the registered list today. There's a couple names in here that I have some very high hopes for. I'm very excited to see what they put down.
I feel like we're going to have maybe 5 in the 90s club.
Well, and really quick, before we get to Frederick Blockus, I do want to say Olali with the E46 did get moved down to last chance, so that's why we did not see them in this group. Just to note that. So they are still in the last chance qualifier later at the end of the sessions. We'll hopefully get to see them. And now we'll bring Frederick Blockus up to the line. Get ready to start his runs. That's one of the names that I'm always excited to see here, so we'll see what he's able to do.
That is interesting.
Don't hit.
Big flick in, misses a little bit of that outside or inside clip and has to pull angle out just to hit outside zone 1, but fills 2 and 3 all the way. Really riding that line, filling out or inside clip number 2 as he stretches it out for outside zone number 4 and puts it right on the wall, wing hanging the whole way through outside zone number 5.
Three-wheeling as well through a lot of that course, I must mention.
Looked a little sketchy throughout the first half of the course, but he really started to clean it up towards the end.
There it is, an 82.7 for run number 1 on Frederick. We'll see what he's able to do in run number 2. He knows his mistakes. He knows what he's got to correct. Maybe try to keep that front wheel back down on the ground. That might help you a little bit here. But the 8.6, very fun platform. Frederick is very familiar with it. He initiates in. Nice big flicked angle, but that's going to make him come up a little bit shallow on that inside clip. Bobble and angle there going out to that outside zone. Picks up outside zone number 2. Not all the way out there in outside zone number 3. Is going to pick up all this inside clip here, though. Now bringing it out to outside zone number 4. Filling all of that. Very nicely done. Transitioning through to the last outside zone. Right up along the wall. A little bit of a tap, but that's not going to stop him. And across the line for run number 2, Frederick Blockus. What a driver. Every time he comes out here, it's always a blast. It's always a nice dude he's going to put down. And
it will add to the wall counter, but it will not take away from his score.
Oh, he does improve with an 83.9, so a little bit of an improvement there. Not too bad. But we all know that Frederick's got a little bit more in the tank than that.
As we have Yuna coming through that start chicane in the big body Ferrari. Big flick, manages to hold his angle. Really stretching it out there to that first outside zone, filling the second and the third on the course edge. Sucking it in to fill all of that inside clip as he stretches it out, barely missing that sand trap in outside zone 4, and just pushes, really having to stand on the brake to hold it in the zone. but manages to get all the way through outside zone number 5.
Yeah, the 599 is a very difficult car to drive. Like I said, I've tried it. It's an interesting one, as I do see it looks like a 0 on the board there for Yuna. Looking to verify that. No, it is an 89.37 for Yuna. So I don't know what's going on there. As he flicks it in, grabs that inside clip, brings it out towards the rumble strip there and outside zone number 1. Only about midway on outer 2 and slight tire drop in outer 3. Shallow on that inside clip. Bringing it out to the next outside zone, right in the course edge there. Now transitioning through towards the wall, and the wall count rises again. Oh boy.
If the unit didn't hit the wall there, I think that would have been our first run in the 90s club.
I don't know about that. He was off of a lot of those zones there, so that's... I think you're being a little hopeful.
See, I would have gave it a 90 without the wall hits, just simply because of the difficulty of driving that car, as we have
It's
Matt
a
Spies.
0.7. What?
As we have Matt Spies going through. Big Flick has to pull some angle out of it just to not lose the car, missing that whole inside clip and getting in and out of that sand trap somehow. Barely holding it together through that last outside zone. Sloppy. That was a really sloppy run, Matt.
Just to update on Yuna's run, it was not a 0.7. Score was coming in a little bit late. It was an 81.17. As Matt Spy's first score comes in at a 48.14. Matty Spy is one of our OGP competitors. Flicking it in here. Very shallow on the angle, and that's going to set him up pretty poorly for his line here. It does correct it going through these outside zones now to bring it into the inner clip. Much better this time around. Pushing out the outside zone number 4 now. Keep the car on the track this time. Through outside zone number 5, keeping the car pretty stable, and then comes off of angle as he comes across the line there. That may hurt the score a little bit.
That was an interesting run, to say the least. He was a little bit all over the place for that one. He was not really able to hold it in to the zone where he needed it to be, as we're missing a judge again. I don't know if it's his VPN that's having issues now, but it looks like we are down a judge.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, I think, where we run into issue after issue, but I will say we're going a lot smoother than the last event. A 49.77 is what slides in for Matty Spy's next run there.
As it looks like we are at the end of this group.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be it. So once again, everybody, going to cut to a quick commercial break. Got a lot of drivers who are getting moved down to the last chance qualifying group here. But we're going to go ahead, cut to a short commercial break, get the next group of drivers locked and loaded, and we'll be back with you guys with more action after this. All right, and it looks like we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The next group is loaded in, getting their practice runs in. You can see them all patiently waiting in a line. Oh, and they are calling practice, I believe. No, looks like some of them are going to keep going.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a competition if all of the drivers listened to the judges.
No, sometimes that's the way the open events go. And that's okay. It's these drivers, likely first or second time ever competing in ESDA. They haven't quite made it to the major yet, so got to work out the kinks while you're down here.
And honestly, it's amusing. Or the drivers just cut their chat off and don't cut it back on. From the looks of it, we have another Mustang out here representing for the Ford teams. And the wall claims him as a victim. And it looks like they've all finally started paying attention, as we will be getting our first driver up to the staging line. You've got JoJo coming to the line in his RX-8.
Very fitting car choice for his name, Mr. RX-8 JoJo.
The real question is, will he be able to actually do anything with it? As he sends it off to the start chicane, just screaming off the limiter. Big flick in, barely on that inside clip, barely touches outside zone 1, comes into 2, doesn't really fill 2 with no angle. Hits 3, hitting that inside clip number 4, or number 2, and then outside zone 4 with a lot of bobbles. Oh, the wall gets him too, twice. That was a bit of a sloppy run all around. He wasn't able to fill most of those zones, had low angle throughout the whole first half of the course, and then a lot of shaking and wobbling like it was freezing cold outside.
Yeah, JoJo's going to have to definitely clean that up going into the next run here as he is underway. See that big flick initiation again. There it is. Set himself up nicely for that first inside clip. Now looks like he is trying to correct his angle issue from the previous run. Does it a little bit better, but not too good. Now wraps it into the next inside clip. Completely misses it, but it looks like setting himself up a little bit nicer for that outside zone there. Manages to pick up some of that. Now into the wall run. Staying very, very shallow, probably afraid of getting into that wall, and almost comes at a drift across the line. Very, very sloppy set of runs from JoJo here. That, unfortunately, probably isn't going to get you too far. Currently sitting on a 67.9. See what the second score is going to come in at here, as it is a little bit of a rough set of runs. It's a 49.63, so the 67.9, that'll be the score that stands.
I know the grass may look green, but it is a little chilly out here with how much these drivers are having to shimmy around. As we have Jordan coming up to the line next. Has he figured it out? Nope. Looks like he is not here, as we got Fladway Society supposed to be coming to the line now. Is he going too? Yep, he's not here. Looks like we're gonna have Mason to the line.
You know, one thing that has to be said, as we're noticing all the drivers that have not been showing up, just want to remind everybody that if you are planning on signing up for the Open, please make sure that you can be there for it, as you are taking up driver spots from other people. It's not cool. Give other people their shot if you're not going to be here.
As Mason comes in real hesitant into that first inside clip, really hits it, but quits it. Filling outside 1, 2, and 3. Leaving a little bit early and kind of missing that inside clip, but stretching it out to the outside zone 4 and really far inside on that last as he shuts it down.
I think that his spotter told him there was an inside clip there. Oh, he's taking a part of the track with him. Oh, there he goes. He drops it off. 0 on the board right now for Mason Snyder. Hopefully he'll be able to fix it up here for the next run.
If your spotter told you there was an inside clip there, you need to fire him. I'm sorry.
Get him out of here.
Banhammer.
Mason Snyder initiates in, grabs that first inside clip very nicely. He does drop a tire there, but picks up that whole outside zone. Pretty good on the second outside zone, third outside zone about mid-level there. Misses the inside clip number 2 as he brings it out the outside zone number 4, fills that about halfway as well. Now transitions through, and this time the spotter is not his ear, so barely holds it in drift there as he over angles. But that is hopefully going to be a score on the board there for him.
I don't think it's going to be enough to get a decent score. It'll be above the cutoff line for now, but for how long is the question?
Ooh, 58.3. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be a great score on the board.
As we have Rennspec coming through the line in that new Nissan 400Z. Decent flick in, hitting all of that inside clip and outside zone 1, stretching it out to outside zone 2, riding the course edge for outside zone 3, putting it right on the line for inside clip number 2 as he stretches it out through outside zone 4 and puts it on the wall to start, comes a little bit out of it, but just holds it together into that last outside zone without becoming another victim of the wall counter.
All right, I'm going to say it because I know that a lot of people are thinking it in the world. And this is directed at you too, Jared Deanda. If you ever see this clip, an 88-point run for the first run there. Very nice. This car is 5 years old. This car is not new. These are old as dirt now. They're 5 years old. Not a new Z. This is just a Z. As he flicks it into initiation. Grabs that first inside clip very nicely, bringing it out to outside zone number 1. Not too bad there. Outside zone 2 out to the course edge. A little bit shallower on outside zone 3 than 2. Gets about half of that inside clip. Bringing out the outside zone number 4 towards the track edge there. Very nicely done. Maybe a little bit of an early transition there. Coming out to the last outside zone, but very nice and smooth, consistent across the line. Good run overall. In the not new Z. 5-year-old Z.
And from the looks of it, if he is here, we're going to have James Dean's cousin, Jeffrey Dean, come into the line.
Oh, God.
And it looks like he is not here.
Yeah, I don't believe he's here because that would have been another RX-8 on the grid.
Oh, never mind. That's not James Dean's cousin. He wouldn't do that. Never mind. He does drive an RX-7. I forgot about that.
No, you know what? That's Jimmy Dean's cousin. Isn't that the breakfast company?
Oh. Jimmy Dean's cousin, Jeffrey Dean, the sausage man.
I tell you what, I can't wait for qualifying to be over. I got some pancakes downstairs I'm going to make real quick so that I can have some food in my stomach. Very excited for that.
I'll tell you what, I've got a cinnamon roll waiting on me.
Let's get it going. We've got Hunter Landis coming up to the line, one of the anger management boys. Getting ready to throw down.
Let's see how angry he is in that Mustang and if he's able to manage it. Real weird initiation. Misses that first inside clip, but stretches it out. Hit it and forget it for outside zone 1 and 2, but really handbrake pulling just to hold it in the 3. Filling that inside clip as he stretches it out, taking out the cones on that backside with the Mustang and really coming into that last outside zone. He's seen how many of those Mustangs have been taken out by that wall and didn't want to be another victim.
Very messy run there from Hunter Landis. Coming into outside zone number 2, just super shallow on angle and almost like drag racing with a 69, nice 0.9.
Nice.
Not a bad score to put on the board. That's going to put you above quite a few of the other drivers that have gone so far today. Going to still have to clean it up, though, in run number 2. A lot of big mistakes there. So try to correct it, get a better run going. Does pick up a little bit of that inside clip this time. Holds angle coming out the outside zone number 1, and a lot better on the angle in outside zone number 2, but still pretty shallow. Picks up all 3, and way inside coming up to that second inside clip. But he does get it done. After that next outside zone, putting it out towards the course edge. Now bring it into the last outside zone along the wall. Don't put it in the wall. Keeping it nice, smooth, and consistent across the line.
He managed to make it around the course, even with his 3-point initiation. He came out swinging and wasn't really able to clean it up from there, as we have David up to the line next in that Corvette. Baby blue Corvette. Big swing initiation about midline through that inside clip, but really fills all of that outside zone 1, 2, and 3. Manages to put it right on the line for inside clip number 2 and stretch it out to the course edge for outside zone 4. Is he able to put it on the wall all the way? And he really just taps that bumper, but holds it together through outside zone number 5.
That was a commentator curse if I've ever seen one. We did get a score there for Landis' second run. It was a 71. Pretty much on the dot. It was a 71.01, but it's fine, as David puts down an 81.8 there. Could have been better without that wall tap for sure. I'm sure that affected the run. Now flicks it into initiation, picks up that first inside clip, dragging the rear end of that car out to the rumble strip and outside zone number 1. Comes up a little bit short in 2. Could have been ever so slightly deeper in 3, but not bad at all. Picking up inside clip number 2 there, very nicely done. Bring it out to outside zone number 4, running the course edge again. Now this time up, it hits the wall, trying to keep it going, hits the wall again, still keeping it going, and across the line, it will be a completed run.
And he had an 81.1 for his first run. Or an 81.8 for his first run. As we have Chris Cervantes coming up to the line to put down his run in that 370Z. Slinging big time initiation, holding a lot of angle, and has to pull out a lot just to make it into that outside zone 1, but doesn't fill it fully. Fills 2 and 3, and then comes around into inside clip number 2, really knee lining through it, but filling all of outside zone 4 as he comes into that wall section a little far off of that wall and having to stand on that left foot brake to back it in, but doesn't manage to hit the wall fully.
Yeah, Cervantes is a driver that we have over at our partner series of OGP. He shows up pretty regularly. Always a fun driver, always cool to chat with. Hangs out a lot in the practice sessions. The 72.2 slots in for his first score. We've seen him improve a lot in OGP. We'll see if he's going to improve for his second qualifying run here. Huge flick initiation, but comes up a little bit shallow there on the inner clip and on outside zone number 1. Backs it in very nicely to outside zone number 2 and outside zone number 3. Now running it in towards the next inside clip. Comes up a little bit shallow again. And tire dropping over that next outside zone. He does manage to keep the car going, but it is messy as he taps that wall. Now just has to find his way across the finish line, and he does. Definitely a messy run there from Cervantes. But honestly, still not too bad. He had a lot of stuff he could have improved on. We'll see what the score drops in with here, as I believe the Wally score is coming in with a 42.5. Yeah, but
the wall
official.
Counter claims another victim, and that sand trap almost sucked him off of the course. You could see him starting to lose angle as we have Lee Belrado to the line in the 400Z. Really just swinging it all over the course, hitting that inside clip and missing all of outside zone 1 and 2. Having to do big handbrake pull just to get into outside zone 3 as he's really far off of that inside clip and missing outside zone 4. This is a sloppy run. Barely manages to get it into that last outside zone and hits the wall. I don't think Wally is going to score that one very high.
I'm at a bit of a loss for words on that run. Hopefully, we'll be able to kind of correct those issues going into the next one. A 7 on the board for Lee. A 7. That is the official score, by the way. It is a 7 on the board. I did not even know that was possible. So, all right. Come on, Lee. You got to do a little bit better than a 7. Flicks it into the initiation, almost missing the first inside clip. Does get outside zone number 1 and does get into 2 this time. A little bit into 3 as well, so doing a little bit better, but does miss that inside clip. That's a shallow up on angle to correct the line, coming in outside zone number 4. Now bringing it into outside zone number 5 and taps the wall once, taps it twice, but he does get it across the line, so it should be a better score. But honestly, I wouldn't be mad about seeing a 7 stand on the board. That's an interesting score to have in qualifying.
Honestly, that is
52-2.
that 7 is like me trying to drive these cars. I am not good. As we have Marcel to the line coming through. Bit of a timid initiation, big handbrake pull, missing all of that outside zone 1, hitting outside zone 2, and barely working his way and staying in the course for outside zone 3. Super wide on inside clip 2, and then shallow on as he over rotates a lot, missing most of that whole outside zone. Just straightens and has to shut it down. I do not think that's going to be a judged run.
No, that is a 0 on the board for Marcel. He'll have to clean it up for run number 2 here. And you know what? Even if he double incompletes here, which I don't hope he'll do, I still get promotion from this because I painted that car. So
Marcel, I know you're a lot better than this. Come on, man.
He makes the run up. He initiates in. He does pick up that inside clip this time. Puts it into outside zone number 1. And oh, wow. Yeah, that's rough. Just not able to get the car back in an angle. So now he's washing out wide here again. And it's already scored as a 0 from Wally. So unfortunately for Marcel, he will not be finding his way into top 32. But you know what? It's a different car than what he's used to, so I can't fully say that I'm surprised to see that from him. We'll see him come back at the next open event. He'll come back swinging even harder, just like all the other guys who have been completed today. But right now, that's going to round out the group here. We're going to cut to another commercial break, and we'll be back with you guys after another short little break here. All right, ladies and gents, if there are any ladies watching, it's probably just gents right now. We are back. Got our next group of drivers loaded in. They're trying to get them all to realize practice is over. Here we go.
Yeah, it looks like we still have our judges loading in. Oh, nope. One of them is appearing to have an issue. So we are just waiting on our last judge to load in. And this group is full of some heavy hitters. We have Darian, we have Tristan, we have Dalton, we have Farinelli. A lot of heavy hitters that should be putting up scores in the 90s, high 80s, low 90s. Farinelli, if you can hear this, hop on up to the line. Get ready to show us what you got or be roasted for the rest of the week. No pressure. But I will clown you if you don't make it.
Here
And
he comes.
Farinelli's in that that's the two-door GTR, just big body swinging. Really throwing it in there, borderline a backwards entry, dropping that tire into the gravel pit, filling all of outside zone 1, midline through 2, and filling all of 3, hitting that second inside clip and really stretching it out, standing on the brake to get it out to the rest of outside zone 4 as he comes into that last outside zone. Standing on that left foot brake, trying to stretch it out and get the wing over the wall, but he managed to fill it. As it looks like he will probably be in the 60s for that score.
A 63.3 slides in for his first run. See what he does on the second one here. Flicks it in. Just barely gets the outside of that inside clip with the front bumper. Makes it out to outside zone number 1. Gets about halfway through outside zone number 2 and outside zone number 3. Bringing it around to the inner clip in number 2. Barely touches it. Tire drop there, coming in outside zone at number 4. Now flicking it back over towards the wall here in outside zone number 5. Holding it nice and steady, but does tap the wall. It unsettles him a little bit, but he holds that drift across the line.
He heard me say to get the wing over the wall and got a little bit too cocky with it. He hung that wing, but was not able to bring it back. As we have Darian coming to the line up next.
It is a 66.1 for Farinelli. Currently slotting him a 19.
Darian coming through that start line in that S15. Doing a little Scandi flick, coming through midline on that first inside clip as well as the outside zone. Dropping a tire in outside zone 2 and filling all of outside zone 3 as he comes into that inside clip number 2, touching the inside line, riding that outside line in 4. and swinging it onto the wall for outside zone number 5. Starts to come out of the zone a little bit and has to readjust, but he manages to make it through.
Yeah, Darian Bass Bass, sorry. I keep getting it wrong. Putting down a 75.8 there on that first run, and I do want to give a shout out to him with all of his current success going on YouTube. I love his series of following his competitive esports drifting as he brings it in through first part of that section there, puts it out to the edge of that outside zone, but does shallow up a little bit in 2, all the way out to the course edge on 3, now bringing it into inside clip number 2, picks that up perfectly. Bringing it out to outside zone number 4, now right in that course edge. Very nicely done there. Into the last outside zone, trying to get as close to that wall as he can without hitting it. Has to shallow up a little bit on the angle, but he does get that car across the line. Again, just want to give a huge shout out to him. He's been having a lot of success with his fan base, following his esports competitive journey over on YouTube. If you guys have not checked it out yet, go take a look. Go check out Darian's YouTube channel. He posts about all of his success, all of his failures when it comes to competing, and he puts down a 79.2 on run number 2 there for his second score.
Darian Bass definitely didn't flounder it there.
You should be put down for that.
As we have Dalton Frazier coming through, big swing, midline through that first inside clip, leaves that first outside zone a little bit early and misses the third outside zone, comes midline through the second one and washes out wide on that last inside clip, running midline through outside zone number 4 as he's trying to get the car back into the outside zone 5, and the wall claims another victim.
Typical wall shenanigans for Dalton Frazier.
You're either a victim of the wall or you're a victim of Wally.
Or the sandpit. As he gets back up to the line here, currently sitting on an incomplete. See what he's able to do on this second run. Flicks it in. Brings it up to that inside clip there. Now out to the first outside zone. Pretty nicely done. Transitioning through very sloppy there. Picks up all of outside zone number 3, but only about 2/3 of the way and misses that inside clip. Bringing out to the next outside zone, riding it pretty well there. Now coming into the wall run, just has to not hit it, but you do need to be in the zone, which he does end up finding the zone a little bit later, so should be a score on the board. Is it going to be a good one? I don't know about that.
And our next driver is one that I am very familiar with. We have Tristan Williams, aka Velo, who has been competing in a lot of different competitions between OGP, EF's competition, and here. He has been getting a lot of driving time in.
It is a 75.3 for Frazier.
Tristan misses that inside clip, and most of that first outside zone comes out of the outside zone 2 and 3 very early. Coming over that line, hits the inside clip number 2, but then drops the tire over the line, filling most of outside zone 4 and mid-lining through all of that last outside zone. That was really sloppy, man. You can do better than that. I've seen better than that out of you.
Yeah, we've definitely seen better. Hopefully we'll get to see something better here in run number 2. Here we go. 59.6 currently sitting on. Has to improve. Flicks it in. Barely grabs that inside clip, but does make it out to outside zone number 1. Now transitioning through here. Looks like the E36s are just fighting people on handling today, as he does pick up that inside clip there. Bringing it out to the next outside zone, riding out there towards that rumble strip. Now into the wall section, taps it a little bit, which brings him a little shallow of the zone. But he does make it across the line. And yeah, like I was saying there, honestly, watching these E36s today, seems like every single one that we've seen is just fighting the drivers.
I mean, maybe they have one of those extra grip mods going on where they put teeth on the tires.
Big improvement, an 80.7 for Tristan Williams.
as Kyle Renmuth is coming through in the Mustang. A little far off of that inside clip, but fills most of outside zone 1 and 2 and 3 on a midline through all 3, but riding that inside line for that second inside clip, throwing a lot more angle at it just to fill outside zone 4 as he comes into that wall section. He's got his wheels in the zone, but he's not fully able to get out to the wall.
Yeah, and Velo is in the chat, just kind of giving us some information there about the car. It just has so much grip that they're fighting with it. Kyle gets a 76.8 for the first run here. Going into run number 2. See what he's able to put down. Flicks it into the initiation, picks up all of that inside clip, and drags that car out to the outside zone number 1. Very nicely done there. Outside zone 2, out to the course edge. Same thing in 3. Transitioning in towards the inside clip, picks it up perfectly. Now has to shallow up on angle a little bit and then pour more on to make that next outside zone work. We'll see what he does coming into the wall here. Looks like just trying to keep it smooth and consistent throughout that zone and across the line.
And from the looks of it, we might actually have a Mustang in the competition. And we're supposed to have Diaz coming up to the line next, but it does not appear that he is here.
Big improvement for Kyle, an 88.7. And I'm going to say it. I'm eating my words a little bit. We haven't gotten a single driver in the 90s yet today.
I kind of called it that there would not be that many. It was a bold stance to say that we would have that many drivers in the 90s club today, especially given how much difficulty people have been having filling that last outside zone and avoiding that gravel pit of kitty litter. And
yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, looking at some of the names that are on the, you can see the score ticker there on the right side of your screen, folks. There's a lot of names in there that we've seen both here in ESDA, we've seen them in OGP, we've seen them in SRDL, that have competed very well, but this track, just for as simple as it may look to the oncoming viewer, very tough track to make your way around.
And I think that might be it for this group.
Diaz was in the server earlier, so they might be trying to figure out where he's at.
It could be one of those situations where we just don't have Diaz.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on. He is in... Oh, he got moved down to the last chance. So, yep, that is going to round out this group here. We're going to go ahead, cut to a short commercial break, as this was the last official group. Get our guys that are in the last chance ready to go here, and we will be back after this. And it looks like we are back. We do have Diaz. Oh, never mind. Diaz is not to the line.
I think he got a 0 on that run for not taking off soon enough.
Oh, boy.
Is Diaz going to be our last driver is the question. Not seeing anybody else in here other
looks
than
like Diaz is coming up. Here we go.
All right,
Now
Diaz is
on his
firing.
way.
Big 3-point initiation, big flick, hanging it out there in that pink 400Z, filling up halfway through that first outside zone, all of that second and third outside zone, really stretching it out, bringing it back in, filling that second inside clip, coming out to the fourth outside zone, filling that line perfectly as he rides that wall, just barely inching off, taps the wall at the end, gets in the little kitty litter towards the last section of the run after he finishes.
Not too bad there from Diaz, but we know he's got more than that in the tank. And I will say his livery for this event looking a lot better than the last one that he showed up with. Because the last one was just a gray car with a couple stickers. So he is actually rocking the full livery this time. Always cool to see.
That looks like a T-Mobile livery.
Yeah, it does. It looks like the T-Mobile livery from Midnight Club LA as he flicks it into initiation. Bringing it around to the first outside zone, putting it out to the course edge as a 78.2 slots in for run number 1. Outside zone number 2 and 3, very good coverage going on there. Bringing it into the second inside clip, very good coverage of that inner clip. Now running it out to the track edge and outside zone number 4, bringing it around to outside zone number 5. Keeping it nice, smooth, consistent, trying to keep it off of the wall and across the line. He might be looking at an improved score here.
And Diaz has always been one to come with some very interesting liveries, and no matter what competition you see him running in. Big anime fan, that guy. You can tell from all of the stickers, all of the liveries that he has. Always interesting to see, always a fun competitor to watch. As it
And
looks
it
like
is a slight improvement.
yeah, 79.4. Looks like we are going to be waiting for our next driver to load into the server.
Yeah, it looks like we are just gonna try to get some of these other drivers loaded in here. So I think we're gonna cut to another very, very, very quick, short commercial break while we try to get that all sorted here.
I think we've got the driver in here. Yep, Nick is in and coming to the line.
Well, that's Diaz I see currently coming to the line.
Nope, it is Nicholas. He is just driving in Diaz's
Are they
car.
sharing a car?
I believe they are.
Oh boy! All right, so here we go. We've got Nick driving the Z that was just driven by Diaz.
A little bit more timid on the initiation. Very wavering. Or there's a lot of wavering coming out of that as he over angles and gets in the kitty litter, just trying to suck it back in. Barely hits that last inside clip, misses almost all of the outside zones, and just barely misses that wall on that last outside zone. Do a 360.
All right. Well, you know what? It's a run in the books. Not a great run, but it is a run in the books nonetheless. As it slots in with a 45.9 there. Here we go. Going for the second run here. We'll see if Nick is able to improve that score. Very, very slow initiation into the corner, which is going to set him up a little rough for the inside clip. Not able to pick up that outside zone at all there. And oh, wow. This is just kind of all coming unwound here for Nick as he drops a tire. And I don't know. I think that this is not going to be an improvement, to say the least.
It most definitely is not an improvement.
Well,
Looks
you know
like
what? I think he still scored higher than a 7.
he most definitely did score higher than a 7, but it looks like we will be jumping to a different server as we have 2 more drivers left.
So it is a 24.3. So did beat the 7 score that we saw earlier, which I believe is our lowest score in ESDA history. So we're going to go ahead and jump that server like Faust was saying. We're going to cut to a very, very quick little break, and we'll be back with our last 2 drivers. That off. Here we go. We are back. Oh, come on. You can't say that on stream. Oh, all right. F-bomb has been dropped. There we go. We're banned. We're not allowed on Twitch anymore.
Well,
we're back.
I guess I'm getting the ban hammer.
Yep. Faust isn't allowed back anymore. Faust messed everything up. But we do have Alawi pulling up to the line here, ready to go.
As he goes in for a pretty big flick initiation, hitting that first inside clip and really stretching it out for that first outside zone, hitting the second outside zone and the third. Standing on that left foot brake for most of that course, but filling that whole second inside clip as he rides the course edge for the fourth outside zone, coming into that wall section. Really just trying to work his way out to the wall without getting put into it as he makes it all the way through. He might be the first one in the 90s club with a 93.6.
There we go. Now we got a 90s up on the board. All it
Everybody
took was
gets
one
one.
F-bomb.
Maybe that's the way to cure the commentator's curse.
Yeah, just start cursing at him. Here we go. Olawi getting ready for run number 2. Will we see an improvement on the 93 score? Let's find out. Picks up that first inside clip out to the first outside zone. Very good placement there. Good placement on outside zone number 2. All the way out to the track edge in 3. Bringing it into inside clip at number 2 there. Very good positioning. Out of the outside zone number 4. Putting it all the way out there. Now bringing it into that last outside zone. Crazy angle coming into it. Oh, but he does tap the wall a little bit there, so don't know if we're going to see an improvement here, but still sitting on a very high score with that 93.6.
You won't have the commentator's curse if your commentators are cursing. As from the looks of it, he got a 90.7 for that second run.
So no improvement there.
2 runs, 2 hits in the 90s. As it looks like we will be taking a small commercial break as we get our last driver loaded in.
Commercial break, or are we done? Because I think we're...
The comp runs this late in the afternoon.
Here we are. Looks like we're in the server. Oh, there's a lot of cars in the server. Okay.
Yeah. All of the people that have placed and gotten their scores from that first group are in here getting their practice as we wait for Vasily to come up to the line.
Yeah, let's try to get these drivers off of the track. We got a qualifying driver to go yet, guys.
Let's see if he has cleared out some of those issues that he has been having with Wally. Maybe they had to have a nice heart-to-heart conversation just to get him back into work. But we will see very shortly.
I'm not sure what is this. Oh, I think this is Vasily right here.
No, it is not.
No,
he
it's
is
not.
just
Okay.
he is just somebody that does not listen. That is JP. That is absolutely blitzing through the course, might I add. And the wall takes him out. Oh, he's finally gotten Wally to commit or to as we have somebody chasing him.
Hang on a minute. This, I'm assuming, won't be a scored run here.
No, it's not looking. It might be. He's really just getting chased by some guy during his qualifying run. Absolutely sticking it onto the wall. He's putting on a heater of a run.
Unfortunately, not on the stream, and Harold is going down there and yelling at the drivers to get off of the track. You guys need to pay attention. If you are a driver, pay attention to what is going on around you. We are trying to get qualifying done. We know that you guys are anxious. We know that you're excited, but please let us get qualifying done and over with so we can get into battles.
And just as a side note, all of the other drivers were able to get their qualifying runs done solo without having to worry about somebody being on their ad. Scott.
Stop.
The whole time. Yes, they're at Scott the entire time.
Now we just need to get to the line. Let's get this done. Come on.
Yep. We just got one more. We got Vasily coming around. Nope, it looks like we've got Vasily coming around. All of the drivers have gotten a chance to get their runs with nobody chasing after them. But Vasily came out and managed to put down.
Stream is down. Here goes Vasily. Very good through the zones here. Honestly, he is picking it up pretty good here for how long he's had to wait for his run. As it looks like the stream is back to life. Vasily completing his first run there.
I believe that was his second run. I don't know if they're counting the score for that first run.
I highly doubt they're counting the score from the first run, considering somebody jumped on him. Yeah, no, this is first run. It is a 74.4 on the board. Vasily, please come to the line. Thank you. There we go. He's on his way.
Honestly, it's going to be interesting to see how he manages to improve on that first run. Coming in for a big swing. Picking up most of that first inside clip and all of that first outside zone. Swinging into that second outside zone.